the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball, but the official ball of you.
Well, a very pleasant good morning, everyone, from Everett Community College, the Walt Price Fitness Center, along with Pete Richmeyer, Mike Tatko here, day one of the women's portion of the NWAC Championships, Pete, and it's been already a couple of great days of men's basketball, and now on to the women's side.
Yeah, you know, the first 2 days we saw two number ones upset in the men's bracket, and always a good first day. We have a couple of 4 versus 1s today. We're going to start off with a 3 versus 2. Two teams that played earlier this year, and quite a lopsided affair. So not sure what to expect here in this one. Teams on different streaks.
Yeah, they certainly are. Olympic is the second seed from the north, and the Rangers are 11-17, 10-4 in conference. Centralia, the third seed from the west, 8-6 in their western region, 14-14 overall. And as you said, Pete, Centralia a 76-32 win at home over Olympic on December 9th. But I spoke with both coaches before the game, and they said, boy, it's going to be a different game. They were both different teams back then. Centralia's Caleb Sells said, we made every shot we took. They didn't make anything. Olympic's Dave Hawkins simply just looked at me and said, we're a different team than we were in December. So it should be interesting as we kick this off with a 3 versus 2 matchup, as you said, Pete, Olympic and Centralia.
You know, when you look at the way the two teams have played of late, when that first game happened, actually, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this words from one of our NWAC sponsors.
When I first graduated high school,
And we are back, to finish that thought that we were talking about. When the teams first met, Olympic was right in the middle of a 1-13 start to their season, but they finished 10-4 to take the number 2 seed. And on the flip side of that, Centralia, they started 6-8, but then they won 7 in a row, and they've lost 6 of their last 7. So these are two teams at completely different levels of their streaks. Olympics playing hot basketball. Centralia cooled off considerably after a nice start.
And a first time in this tournament, Pete, for Olympics since 2006. Centralia was here a year ago. Taking a look at the starters first for Centralia. Alani Talapu is a 5'4" freshman from Farrington High School in Honolulu, Hawaii. Piper Kai, 5'9", and a freshman from Colfax, Washington. Caitlin Yenny, 5'9", and a freshman from River Ridge High School in Lacey, Washington. Isabella Elwood, 5'9", and a sophomore from Adna, Washington. And Lindsay Nurmi, 5'8", and a freshman from Black Hills High School in Olympia, Washington. And Caleb Sells is the head coach of the Centralia Trailblazers in his 3rd season at the helm. Olympic will line up like this as one of the starters is Danielle Monzon, a 5'2 sophomore from Bremerton and went to Olympic High School. Also, Katie Campana, 5'8 and a sophomore, also from Olympic High School in Bremerton. Sarah Howerton is a 5'2 guard from Phoenix, Arizona, Goldwater High School. Natalie Gordon, a 5'11 sophomore from Port Orchard, Washington, South Kitsap High School. And Brittany Blake is a 5'9 sophomore from Laie, Hawaii, and went to Kauku High School. They're coached by Dave Hawkins in his 4th season. So should be a good one. Centralia in the blue as you look at it here, and they'll be going from left to right, and Olympic in the home uniforms in the white, trimmed in red and black. Good to be here with you, Pete. Should be a fun day today.
Absolutely, and well done on the Hawaiian names. Always a challenge for me, you know, and a mark of a good announcer to be able to pull out the Hawaiian names.
Well, the Trailblazers have it first, and right off the inbounds, they get the early lead with the basket by Brittany Blake. And it's a quick 2-0 lead for the Trailblazers from Centralia. Caleb Sells said we have the height advantage in this game, and we'll see how it plays out here as the Rangers on the baseline drive, and it's good.
For Olympic to stay in this game, they're going to want to match pace early. They're not going to want to get too far behind this Centralia team, who's a lower seed, but don't let that fool you.
I actually gave the first basket of the game to Blake. It actually was Elwood from Centralia who scored off the tip, so my apologies there. We are 2-2 as that one would not go by Elwood, and we go back the other way. So Olympic in a 2-2 tie, 1 minute in to the basketball game here from Larry Walker Court at the Walt Price Fitness Center on the campus of Everett Community College. Attempted pass is driving the key, and it went out of bounds, and Olympic will inbound it with 9 on the shot clock.
You talk about Everett Community College, a fantastic job they do putting this tournament together every year after it switched over from Kennewick to the Toyota Center. Nice facility here, always a pleasure to be here. This
is the 4th year of the tournament here, and as you said, a beautiful facility. We have a great view high above the court behind the benches. A long three as the shot clock was running out, and that attempt was by Monzon, and it was partially blocked, and that's a shot clock violation. Good defense early on by Centralia.
Absolutely, and that's something that with Caleb Sells, his teams are always solid on defense. They can be a little bit streaky when they're shooting on offense, but if they can put those two together, they're going to have a good game.
2-2 tie. Both teams have opened in a zone defense, so we'll see which team gets hot early from the outside. That could be a difference in the game as faking the three and then driving and pumping it up short that time by Nurmi, and it goes back the other way. And offensive rebound and up and in that time by Talapu.
Nicely done to pick up that rebound and find an open shot for that second chance.
4-2. Centralia, Olympic trying to match it. And the deep three from the corner going to be long, but long shot, sometimes net offensive long rebounds, and it did that time, and Olympic with a new shot clock. Nice pass inside, and a foul is up with the attempt was Gordon, and she'll have a couple of free throws. As you know, you look back at that game, Pete, on December 9th. After one, it was 14-11. Centralia looked like a pretty good game, but boy, an ambush of 26-8 in the second period. In fact, after the first quarter, Olympic only scored 23 points the rest of the game.
And that's tough when you start off evenly paced and then you find even the easiest shots not going in for you. That can really do something to the psyche and make it even tougher to come from behind. And that's what happened to them on the 9th. Just found themselves digging a hole and they couldn't get out of.
1 of 2 on the free throws from Gordon, and Centralia still has the lead 4-3. And from the deep corner, good. A three-pointer that time by Nurmi.
And just like that, a 4-point lead.
So Lindsay Nurmi with the hoop. 7-3. And Centralia would like nothing better, Pete, than to turn this into the same thing that happened in December. And here's a steal And a chance for Nurmi at the other end. Missed it, but the offensive rebound and up and in by Talapu. 4 for her, and it's 9-3 Blazers.
Good job by Talapu in following that play.
You know, you're right, Pete. Oftentimes you see a teammate with a breakaway and you think, well, she's got it. It's going to be an easy lane. I'll just kind of sit back here all lax-like. But she did do a good job to follow that up with the lane. And at the other end, Olympic answers.
Opening day of the women's tournament, Elite 8 tomorrow. And, oh, boy, what a good weekend, championship weekend is here in Everett next weekend.
Kai's three-pointer off the mark, and Olympic with an opportunity to get a little bit closer as they run it into the deep corner, but too far out of bounds. But they say it was tipped, and so they'll give the basketball back to the Rangers.
Olympics definitely going to want to match pace with Centralia. Not going to want to turn the ball over too many times down court.
On the inbounds, deep in the corner, it's tipped, but they maintain possession with Gordon. And that's going to be off of Olympic, so Centralia gets it back.
Yeah, not able to keep that one in bounds. Looks like she tried to grab it as she leaped out of bounds, but just went off her fingertips for the turnover.
So almost 4 minutes in, and 9-5 Trailblazers in the early going game one. The winner gets the winner of Big Bend and Mount Hood. That comes up at 10 a.m. That's an East versus South matchup.
That's going to be a fun one. Not that they aren't all fun.
Well, this is shaping up to be good early, 9-5 as we've played 4 minutes and some really scrappy ball handling and stealing on both sides. And Centralia with an opportunity, and the bounce pass is knocked away. And
yeah, tried to force that one into a window that just wasn't there.
Gordon limping a little bit as she comes up. I'm not sure if she got twisted up or stepped on there. We'll keep an eye on Natalie for the Rangers. They work it around. Natalie's got it inside. She'll spin, and she'll kick it back out.
Centralia is really quick to get to that ball on defense.
Blocked by Piper Kai, as you said. Right as you said that, Pete, how they really recovered well. They went in, and an offensive foul on Talapu. That's going to be the first foul of the basketball game. It goes on Alani Talapu, the first team foul. And a substitute into the game for Centralia is Megan Cash.
Really nice job that time by Danielle Monzon to get her feet set right in the lane and took that charge for Olympic. Nice job defensively.
Megan Cash went to White River High School from Buckley, Washington, and she is into the basketball game for the Trailblazers of Centralia, who lead 9-5. We're nearing the midway point of game one of 8 today. Both teams remain in a zone, and a ball knocked away by Piper Kai, but it'll be Olympics basketball.
Good job by Kai to rotate out, get a hand on that pass. Kept that one in bounds, would have been a breakaway, and that's a good showing of the Centralia defense right there.
Olympic trying to solve this zone. There's a jumper from the free throw line, and good by Monzon. She has 4, and it's a 2-point game, Pete. 9-7. The Rangers have come back from 9-3 down to make it a 2-point game.
Monzon averaged under 2 points so far in the season, but she's had a nice showing here.
And a timeout on the court. We're just a little bit over the first half of the first period. 9-7 Centralia.
And welcome back to Everett Community College Sweet 16 Women's Basketball NWAC Tournament. Day number 1, first game of the day. 8 games on tap for you here on opening Saturday. Elite 8 tomorrow. In this first one, we have Olympic and Centralia, and close one halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, 9-7, Pete. It was a little bit of a spread for Centralia, but Olympic has battled back. The Rangers 3 of 5 from the field for 60%, and Centralia 4 of 6 for 67%. So very even that way. 4 turnovers to 3 with Olympic with 1 more. So very even so far, as we would expect in a 3-2 game early on. Even though, as you said, Centralia with a big win over this Olympic team earlier, both coaches admitted they thought it would be a different game. And so far it is, as the Trailblazers on offense. The 3 that time by Nurmi didn't go, and Olympic a chance to tie or take the lead.
And if they can take a lead here early in the first quarter, that's certainly going to help them out mentally. You know, obviously they're going to want to put that blowout loss behind them, and a lead after 1 would be a great boost to them for that. Yeah,
Cash coast to coast wouldn't get it to go. Haley Simonson in the game for Olympic. She attempted a shot at the other end. That wouldn't go, as Simonson, a 5'3", a freshman from Belfair, Washington, went to North Mason High School, so she enters the game for the Rangers. And back the other way, it's Centralia with Cash working around the zone to Kai in the deep left corner. Piper back to Megan. Into the key, cutting, and getting fouled that time is Elwood, and the foul is going to be on Brittany Blake, I believe. Her first.
Indeed it is. One of the things I've noticed for Olympic already that they're going to want to watch is when they're coming down court on their fast break, they are outrunning their offense. And so if they miss that first shot, they're in no position to pick up the offensive board. And that's something they're going to want to make sure they have a trailer a little bit closer or slow it down to get in place for those second chance points, which are so important.
Brooke Alciaga into the game for Olympic, as Elwood, a 83% free throw shooter, makes the first one. And the second one uses all of the rim, and it's 11-7. And Elwood will sit down, and coming in for the Blazers will be Rachel Wilkerson. 11-7 Centralia. Big Ben, Mount Hood to follow.
So nice to see the high percentage shots on the free throws, because that's so important.
Great off effort there that time by Nurmi to get the steal and to go flying out of bounds, but saving it back into her teammates. And the Trailblazers have a 4-point lead and a chance for more. 3 on the way, top of the circle, too hard that time, but the rebound bounces back to Cash.
Yeah, Olympic unable to corral that one in.
Piper Kai for 3. That's good. Second three-pointer, second three-pointer for the Trailblazers. Kai with 1, Nurmi with 1, and it's 14-7.
A 2-point lead is 7, just like that for Centralia. A couple good runs down the court on offense. And here they are on defense.
It can be a game of runs, as we've seen so far in this one. And the left-handed attempt by Alciaga wouldn't go, and here come the Trailblazers. They want to run. Yenny all the way into the deep corner, and now she kicks it back out to Nurmi, and they'll set it up. 2.5 minutes to play first period, 14-7 Blazers.
Nice job rotating through the lane for Centralia. They're getting away with those cross-court passes because they're sharp and they're quick.
Great job by Cash to get free underneath on the offensive putback that time. And all of a sudden, it's 16.
Yeah, Olympics definitely want to stop this run that Centralia is on.
Centralia, in its only game last year, lost to Columbia Basin 61-46. Another turnover by Olympic. Centralia was in this 8 a.m. game last year, Pete, against Columbia Basin, and only put up 46 points, and they're well on their way to that here, so maybe a little bit of a different outlook and atmosphere coming in, maybe a little bit more preparation by Coach Sells, knowing that they're going to play in the early game.
You know, that's something you got to take into consideration on opening day, because you have times that teams certainly aren't normally used to playing, such as 8 o'clock, and the last game scheduled to start at 10, a couple overtime games, and before you know it, you're starting at 10:30, 11, and that's got to be tough on these players.
In the men's action on Thursday, the 8 o'clock game went into overtime, and so that 10 o'clock game didn't get going until about 10:30. So you're right, Pete. You never know when you're going to play. You just have to adjust to it. Simonson to get the Rangers closer, and she does.
Nice shot from the corner.
Haley Simonson gets it back to a 6-point game with 1 minute to play in the first period. Piper Kai going to take her player baseline and loops it up with the right hand. It's no good that time, and Olympic with a chance to get a little bit closer. There's Simonson. She thought about it that time, Pete, but she decided to not, and now it's taken away, and it's going to be Nurmi with an opportunity for a breakaway. She gets fouled, and Lindsay will have 2 free throws. Simonson committed the foul. It's her first, and the second team foul. Again, they wipe off the fouls at the end of each period in the women's game, and again, the periods are only 10 minutes long, opposed to the men's 20-minute halves where they have 7 team fouls. What do you think about that?
I like that change. I really do. I think it speeds up the pace of the game.
Free throw by Nurmi. Not any good, and coming out will be Kai, and coming in for Centralia is Jamie Connolly. The other thing it does, Pete, is it gives the opportunities for the coaches to run more last-second plays because you have a stoppage every 10 minutes instead of just a 20-minute half. So a little bit more strategy, and along with the timeouts and advancing the ball and things like that, a lot more strategy added with the 4 periods instead of the 2 halves.
So down to 30 seconds. Tough turnover that time by Olympic. They had a chance to close this gap to close out the first quarter, and they simply threw that one away.
A lot of cross-court passes in this game so far, Pete, by Olympic, in which Centralia has either stolen or at least batted away. As Yenny up off the rim, no good. Final 15 seconds. Let's see what the Rangers do here, down 6. The 3 is off the mark. 2 seconds, and they bounce it off of Yenny, does Monzon, and she'll have 0.8 of a second left. Pete, just about time for someone just to toss it up and tip it in.
A pass and throw.
Let's see what they do here. Gordon triggering it in, and there's contact, and that's the end of the first period. So we're through 1 here in game 1, and our score is Centralia 16, Olympic 10. Well, I'm Mike Tatko along with Pete Richmeyer. Glad to be with you here, Pete. Game 1, Centralia 16, Olympic 10. Similar, Pete, to the last time these teams played. It was a close first quarter, and then Centralia went on a huge run in period number 2.
Blew that one out. Hopefully we're going to have a different one here. It is tournament time, and anything can happen when it comes time for the tournament.
Well, that's why they play him here after a long 29-game season. Here now, everybody is 0-0, as you said earlier, and we get back to action. Olympic will have it from left to right in the white uniforms, down 6. Three on the way. That one wouldn't go, but an offensive rebound by Gordon. She muscles it back up. That wouldn't go. Good defense by Centralia, and the Blazers get the rebound.
Nice job getting that second shot up between 3 Centralia defenders, so a good job hanging in there to get that board. Just couldn't get the second shot to go.
Yenny as they work it around the zone. Cash in the corner. and Nurmi. They're all three-point threats. We've seen some success. Piper Kai, who's not in the game right now, also has one. That's Connolly, who's into the game. And back to Yenny. Shot clock at 5, Pete. They need to get going here. And it's going to be Yenny going to have to fire something up, and she did. Missed it, but the rebound by Cash, and they get into a brand new clock.
Used every last second of that last clock.
Nurmi, nice pass inside and laying it up and in for the Blazers is Wilkerson.
Right between two Ranger defenders. Good job finding the hole on the assist.
18-10. And for 3, that's Howerton. And the Rangers starting to heat up.
Nice answer on that 3 from the corner. A tough shot, but players love that look at the basket.
I tell you, if they can continue to hit those 3, it's going to make Centralia come out defensively. A miss by the Blazers and a foul by the Blazers. And that one is going to be on Connolly, her first. And the first team foul, again, we mentioned we wipe off the fouls. Connolly is from Yelm, Washington for Centralia. Now Centralia, Pete, going to apply a little bit of pressure here, see if they can disrupt this Olympic offense.
Looked like Sarah Howerton took that one on the bridge of the nose on that last rebound, but she appears to be okay.
Another batted pass by the Blazers. Boy, they've been doing that all game. That was Yenny that time who tipped it, and Centralia comes away with it. Nurmi going to bring it down.
Tough to stay in a game when you're turning the ball over like that. Figure they're going to want to shorten up those passes.
Another pass inside. That one's off the hands of Wilkerson. Quinlan Christian is going to come in for Centralia for the first time. Quinlan is a 5'9", freshman from North Thurston High School in Lacey, Washington. And Piper Kai back in from Colfax, Washington. 18-13 Centralia. 8 minutes remaining in the half.
We'd like to thank you for joining us wherever you might be watching from. Make sure you come out tomorrow to cheer on these teams in the Elite 8.
Olympic trap, they take a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, and now they declare that it's a media timeout.
And welcome back to Everett Community College. 5-point lead for Centralia. About what we expected?
Well, like we said earlier in the season, it was a 40-point win, but like we talked about, both coaches indicated they thought it would be a little bit closer. A good timeout by Coach Hawkins. I thought that time, Pete, his kids were trapped right across the timeline, and it looked like maybe another turnover was forthcoming, and so they called the timeout. They have committed 11 turnovers here in just a little bit over 1 quarter of play, and so that's something I'm sure Coach Hawkins is talking about with his Rangers.
And you have to be happy being down by 5 with 11 turnovers in a quarter and a half, well, less than a quarter and a half.
Centralia back to that trapping zone. They've done a good job of batting away passes and intercepting passes. Campana. And now from the top of the key, it's Howerton again, and that one would not quite go. And offensive rebound by Campana, and Olympic will reset. Howerton hit a 3 from the corner a bit ago, and she just about got another one. Now this time she drives and she travels.
I think she found herself between 4 Centralia defenders and was just shocked and committed the turnover.
Wilkerson sits down, and Centralia with the basketball from right to left. Nurmi brings it across. Christian, there's Kai. Piper Kai into the key, and I think she got fouled on the way by. It'll be a it will not be a shooting foul. It'll be before the shot.
Tried to go around the Ranger defender and got an arm bar and picked up that foul.
That's the third foul on Olympic. They got a couple of new players in, Alani Talapu.
Fouls reset, but you only get 5 now.
Right. First team on the Rangers. Both have committed just 1.
Women's basketball, after the 5th, you go straight to the double bonus.
Kiara Sullivan also into the game for Olympic. There's a shot from the deep right corner, not good, and a good rebound, that time by Campana, and she was fouled on the way down, and that's going to be on Kai. Oftentimes, Pete, you see someone get fouled on the way up, but she had the ball already on the way down, and Kai kind of undercut her. It was not intentional, but she did commit contact, and it's a foul on the Colfax Bulldog Piper Kai.
Yeah, it looked like she just got her leg in there as she was turning to head up court. And the Ranger happened to fall down on that, and easy foul there.
More trapping defense by Centralia, and Sullivan couldn't get it to go that time. Both teams cooling off a bit. It was 16-10 at the break. It's only 18-13, so not a lot going on here in the first 3.5 minutes of the second period, at least scoring-wise. 5-point lead for Centralia.
Two teams that didn't have to travel too much to get to the tournament.
Nice move, left-handed move by Kai, but it spins out, and Olympic with another chance to get closer. They've had some empty possessions lately when it's been a chance for them to get closer. Howerton, no good, and the rebound comes down to Centralia, and that's Christian with it. Quinlan Christian with the rebound, and off it goes to Nurmi, who has brought the ball up for majority of the game. Lindsay drives and kicks, and a 3 on the way. Connolly, that won't go, and it's loose, and it'll be Olympic basketball. Both teams in a real cold streak right now, Pete.
Just missing. Howerton's just missed on 2 of her last 3-point attempts. And you got to think these teams are going to heat it up here soon. Get the legs underneath them for the 8 o'clock start.
And another traveling violation by the Rangers. And we'll check our updated stats thanks to our NWAC folks down below. That's the 12th turnover now on the Rangers.
They do a fantastic job with the stats. Our stats crew for this game from Pierce College. 32 schools in the NWAC.
Well, that's what I like about it, Pete. There's volunteer efforts from a lot. It's not just Everett, although Everett does a lot, and the people here at Everett Community College do a lot, but you have people from all over the NWAC, all 4 regions, volunteering their time with stats or whatever it may be to make this a good show. And a nice move up inside by Christian, and she got fouled, although Campana thought it was a clean block. They said no.
Yeah, it looked like she did get in a little bit close on that block attempt, got her hand, and that's going to be a nice job picking up.
Here's a breakaway chance for Lammy. It's up and not good. And Centralia with the rebound. Piper Kai, a very athletic player, gets the rebound and hands it off to Nurmi. Well, there was their chance, Pete. They had a breakaway.
Heard footsteps coming behind her.
Yep. There's Nurmi. And now Kai. And the travel on Centralia. So the turnovers here, 14-5. In fact, as I mentioned a bit ago, Olympic with more turnovers than points. And as you said, Coach Hawkins will want to clean that up here in the remaining minutes of the first half going on into the second half. It's still a tight game, 19-13.
Yeah, it's tough to keep it tight when you're looking at those kind of numbers. So Olympic definitely going to want to make some changes here. to how they hold on to the ball.
Lammy jumps it up. Good.
Just inside that three-point arc.
And it's back to a 4-point game. Olympic hanging in. Centralia unable to take advantage of all of the turnovers and get a lead. And there's a collision out front as colliding was Elwood and Sullivan, and they call the foul on Sullivan.
That was a tough foul to take because she didn't have to be in that situation. She could have peeled off to the left and avoided that foul. That's the thing that'll drive a coach nuts, are the fouls you just don't have to take.
So sitting down will be Sullivan. And Campana back in. She left after that foul, but she's right back in. And now Nurmi inside, and a three from the deep right corner is too far by Elwood, but another rebound by Piper Kai. That won't go, but right there for the rebound, another offensive rebound, another miss, and another chance, and a held ball that time. Great defense as Christian went up, and it was blocked by Gordon, and on the alternating possession, Pete, it goes to Centralia.
You know, one of the things you talked about in the pregame was the height advantage, and that's what you saw on display right there. Those offensive boards were due strictly to the height advantage that Centralia has.
And an offensive foul away from the ball. That one's going to be called on Elwood, her first. And the third foul on Centralia. 4:06 to play in the half. It's 19-15.
Hard to believe with the style of ball we've seen that Olympic can pull within one possession this time down the floor if they don't turn it over, and there it is.
Another loose ball, and back come the Blazers with it. We'll have some guests from Mount Hood who will come and join us here. Where do we want to have them sit, Pete, for the interview? As the Blazers with the miss, we'll have you ladies sit down here. One of you can borrow. You want to borrow your headset, Pete, or you want them to borrow mine?
You want to do it now?
Yeah, we'll do it while we have some time here, and that way we'll be able to take a halftime break. We'll get the camera on you girls, and you're not wearing your uniform, so I don't know what numbers you are. Why don't you circle your name there, and then we'll be able to talk knowledgeably. Madison Allen is sitting right next to me. And next to Madison is Cassidy Ellett. I hope I said that right. Welcome in. And let's talk about yours. We watched this game as the Rangers and Centralia continue to battle. Let's talk about your battle with Big Bend Community College. We'll start with you, Madison. Talk about what you know about the Vikings.
We know that they like to push the ball. Good fast break team. They're also a really good offensive rebounding team. And so those are two things we want to key on.
Cassidy, you've come from the very tough South region. It's a dogfight just to get in. So many good teams, Lane, Umpqua, Clackamas, yourselves, and the other ones as well. You got to feel pretty good about coming in because you're so battle-tested because it's so tough just to get here.
Yeah, definitely. I think the nice thing about being in the South region is all the games are a test, and I think that's how we improve each game to prepare us for this.
Now the Saints on a little bit of a slide here because you played Lane and Clackamas the last two games, but before that you've had a lot of good success. What would you say has been the key? We'll start with you, Madison, the key to the success this year for the Saints.
I would say how well we work together and just how much we want it. I think we're always putting up a fight and we never give up.
You were here last year, and talk a little bit about that experience and the drive that you have to advance further on.
I think last year we came in and no one expected us to come in. And just the fact that we got in last year and we got out the first round, and I think it drove all of us sophomores especially to get further this year and try to take the championship.
All right, well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and best wishes today against Big Bend.
Thank you.
All right, Madison Allen and Cassidy Ellett today as we get set for that 10 o'clock game between the Saints and the Big Bend Vikings, and we'll hopefully be joined by a couple of Vikings here in a moment. Back to our game, it's 21-17. Centralia has maintained that lead Pete, as we get down to the final 90 seconds. I see the Big Bend kids are on their way up, so we'll see them in a minute. But before that, a reverse lay-in up and good.
A good job by Olympic staying in the game.
That was Elwood who scored that for Centralia. They lead by 6 with 1:15 to play and tipped out of bounds, and so they'll have an opportunity.
One of the things I like about the production that the NWAC does is you get to know some of the players, as we just got to talk to a couple of the players from Mount Hood. So as the game progresses, you will, like you said, also talk to someone,
yeah,
a couple players from Big Bend.
I think I saw the Big Bend girls on their way up here, and we'll see. We'll probably get them right here in the final minute of the first half.
And here they come now.
Yes, nice of the coaches to allow the kids to come up, and we'll get the Big Bend kids, and we'll interview them as we have Miranda Johnson and Leah Doherty joining us. I'm from the East Region, so I see you guys. I know what you guys can do, and I've seen you win the Eastern Region, so congratulations. We'll start with you, Leah. Final 4 last year, and I would imagine you come back this year thinking that we'd like to take it a little bit further.
Yeah, exactly. Our goal is obviously to win it all, but we're just super excited. We're going to take it one game at a time, so we have to win this first game in order to move on, so that's just what we're going to focus on right now.
I know, Miranda, I was here last year, and you had to watch at the end because of an injury, and you got to feel like it's great to be back, to actually be on the court, and not that you didn't contribute last year because you helped the Vikings get here last year, but you'd like to be out there at this tournament.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have like a little redemption, so I'm really excited to be able to play this time and hopefully not get hurt.
We talked to the Mount Hood girls on that tough run for them just to get here because the South is a very tough region.
Oh, yeah.
Similar to you guys, you have 9 teams in your league, and on any given night, anyone can really step up. You got to feel pretty good because of the route it took you to get here.
Yeah, I think that we work super hard every night to be able to get to where we are right now, and it feels really good to have that hard work pay off, but we're not done yet. So.
Final comment for you, Miranda, just your thoughts on Mount Hood. I'm sure you've seen them either in person or on film. What is the key today?
I think just come out and play hard, not underestimate them, because they're a really good team and they have beat some really good teams. So just come out, play hard, just like it's an East Region game, and just come out and play our best.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and best wishes against Mount Hood.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, Leah Doherty and Miranda Johnson today. As we close out the first half of this one, 23-18, and we want to thank our friends from Mount Hood and Big Bend for coming in and giving us some time. And as you said, Pete, it's great to have the kids. You get to see them up close, and the other times you're just seeing them far away on the court, so it's nice to put a face to a name, and should be a good battle. Big Bend and Mount Hood coming up, a good matchup between East and South.
You know, when you talk to the players, no nerves. Looks like they're completely relaxed, ready to go, and that's just what the coach wants.
That's our next game. Number 1 out of the East, Big Bend, against number 4 out of the South, Mount Hood. And as we get down to the final seconds of this one, Centralia has maintained that lead, although Olympic, Pete, is not going away.
No, and if they can hold on to the ball a couple of times down the court, get some shots to hit, they can get right back in it. They're getting the rebounds offensively and defensively. They're just having a tough time hanging on to the ball.
Let's see what happened here. A whistle. The ball was knocked out of bounds, and they say it's going to be Olympic's ball, but the officials are discussing it down there. Olympic is ready to inbound it with 4.3 seconds left after the missed free throw.
Always good officiating here at the NWAC. They like to make sure that they get that right. They do have the monitor that they can go to if they need to.
And that's what they're going to do. When you see the official put her arms out both sides, that means go to your benches and we'll have a video review. And I'm not sure if they're talking about whose ball it is or if they're talking about time on the clock, but we can tell you that it's 23-18 in favor of Centralia in this period. The Blazers have been limited to just 7 points, but this would have been the time, Pete, for Olympic to make a move, but they only got 8. So they've only made up 1 point in this second period of action.
And this is a big call right here. You know, you think only 4.3 seconds left, but if that's Centralia's ball at that point in the court, they're going to get a good look at the basket, and they can expand that lead. It's 5 now, but You know, Olympic does not want to go into the locker room down by 8.
So we're waiting for the review to take place. Both officials, 2 of the 3 officials are looking at it.
And then one of them will step out. The third one will go and take a look. Then they'll talk about what they saw. I want to thank one of our big sponsors here at the NWAC Men's and Women's Basketball Championship. Would like to thank Jimmy John's for their continued support of the best seat in the house. Each game, a contestant is chosen to sit on the couch during the game, and they receive a Jimmy John's sandwich. Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky good. And you look over there in the northwest corner of the gym, 2 lucky contestants sitting on the couch.
Well, they draw every game, Pete, and I guess you put your name in the hat out front, and they draw. And if they draw, not only do you get that seat, but you get a sandwich to watch the game with. And so that's always a great reward for a fan over there.
There they are, sitting comfortably. Someone needs to tell those guys those seats recline. First class here at the NWAC.
I wonder if they're looking at the free throws and whether or not they awarded the right amount of free throws. Nurmi missed the free throw, but I don't know if she got to shoot 2, and they ran some time off the clock. I wonder if she's got another free throw coming. Let's wait and see. They're going to call both coaches together.
And players back on the court now.
So she missed them both, and it will be Olympic basketball.
So let's see how fast they can get up the court.
And I'm surprised Centralia isn't pressuring here. They basically give them half of the court free. Campana going to fire a 3 at the horn, off the iron.
What a good look, though. Like you said, I'm surprised Centralia gave them that shot.
Halftime here at Everett Community College. The Blazers 23 and the Rangers 18. And we're back to Everett Community College after these messages.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid?
See ya!
Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
Not bad, Trent.
We see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.
When I first graduated high school, all I wanted to do was go to a 4-year because if you went to a community college, it was, like you said, not very competitive. But now being at a community college for 2 years, that makes you grow up as a player way more than you would think just going straight to a 4-year. You have a lot of the community members that come out to your games that you know of, and so here I think is where kids really develop their skills and then they can go on to a 4-year. My name is Devaney. I play basketball at Centralia College and I go boldly.
It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball. Bottom, the official ball of you. It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball. Bottom, the official ball of you.
Harbor doesn't play till the third game.
Well, we welcome you back to the Walt Price Activity Center here on the campus of Everett Community College. Mike Tatko with Pete Richmeyer. And, well, we talked about the situation earlier in the season when they played and Centralia in a 76-32 win over Olympic. Well, it's tournament time, Pete, and that game is out the window, as we can attest to, because it's a 5-point game at half. Centralia 23-18.
And that could easily be a 5-point game the other way as well. Olympics had plenty of chances, and this one's going to be all about the halftime adjustments that they make and the chat that they have in the locker room, and see which team comes out on fire. And if that's Olympic, this is going to be a close ball game.
Yeah, quickly going through the scoring. First for Centralia, Alani Tulapu with 4, Piper Kai with 3, Megan Cash with 2, Rachel Wilkerson with 2, Isabel Elwood leads the Blazers with 8, Quinlan Christian with 1, and Lindsay Nurmi with 3. For Olympic, 3 for Haley Simonson, 4 for Danielle Monzon, 2 for Brianna Lammy, 3 for Sarah Howerton, 4 for Natalie Gordon, and 2 for Brittany Blake. Nobody in serious foul trouble for either club as we get set. In fact, nobody with more than 2 fouls, so nothing to keep our eye on there, at least yet. Olympic with the basketball from right to left in their white uniforms.
Certainly a clean first half as far as fouls go, if not in the way of turnovers.
Both teams have gone zone pretty much the entire game, and it's just a matter of the other teams unable to really knock down the threes consistently.
Although both teams aren't missing too badly, they are close, so it can easily go the other way. That one a bit off.
Campana missed that one as the shot clock was running down. Olympic 2 of 8 from the three-point range, and Centralia 2 of 13. Both teams will try to improve on that. First possession for Nurmi and the Blazers, and Yenny now on the left side. There's Piper Kai. Behind the back dribble through the key, loses control, and I think they're going to call her for a travel. I think Centralia thought that the ball was tipped by the defenders, and so it should be a new possession, but not so, says the official, and it goes back to the Rangers.
Yeah, tough call. She tried to go between 2 defenders right there, and I think she just got hung up on the dribble, lost control, and committed the turnover.
Big Bend and Mount Hood is next, to be followed by Grace Harbor and Whatcom. And then Umpqua and North Idaho will close out the first half of the bracket. As a foul on the rebound, it's going to be on Olympics Blake. It's her second and the first team foul. The afternoon-evening session looks like this. Lane Walla Walla, Lower Columbia Skagit Valley. And the offensive move for the Centralia club.
I think the Highline Peninsula one's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's the 8 o'clock game, and then Wenatchee and Clackamas at 10. So this is the first of 8. Piper Kai, that's off the iron, no good, but a long rebound back to the Blazers. They reset. Knocked out of bounds by Campana. Still 23-18. We've played a minute and a half.
And you know the players absolutely love tournament time. You get to see so many other teams you look around the stands, no, not so much now, but as the day progresses, you see many of the teams sitting watching basketball as well as participating.
Another three misfired, but Yanni with the rebound. Well, for November and December, Pete, as you know, they play cross regions and crossovers and other tournaments, but once January hits, you're really bound to your own league, your own region, and so it's nice to be able to finally play somebody else. Nice move to the basket that time by Tulapu. She has 6, and it's 25-18 Centralia.
And in the preseason games, the exhibition games, non-conference, the NWAC does a really good job of making sure teams see teams they're not familiar with.
Centralia foul is going to be on Elwood, her second, and that's going to send Olympic to the line. This will be Monzon. Olympic 2 of 4 from the free throw line in the first half. Centralia 3 of 8. Monzon didn't go to the line in the first half, and this one rolls in for Danielle. She has 5.
Not a lot of opportunities at the stripe so far.
You made a good point about playing cross-region games early in the season, and this is a good example. This is a situation where they played each other, and now they're playing again, and we have a break of the action, and we're back after this break.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
And welcome back to Everett Community College. Olympic staying in this game.
Well, you got to figure, if you're Olympic, you know you've already lost to this team by 44 points. You got to figure, as long as we can hang around, then who knows what might happen at the end. One of these teams is going to advance to a basketball game tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the quarterfinals. Centralia on offense. There's a split the post move, and again driving to the basket, and a blocking foul going to be called, as it was Tulapu who went to the hoop, and we check the Centralia foul. I think it's on Monzon, and it's going to be 2 shots.
She almost had her feet set. If she'd been there a split second sooner, that would have been a charge. But it goes the other way.
Tulapu already has 2 points this period. First time at the line, as we told you a bit ago, Centralia just 3 for 8 from the line today. And they get that one to go. 7 in the game for Tulapu. And it's back to a 6-point lead with 7:34 to play.
Fantastic job by our production crew. STSPN giving you a nice look of those free throws.
Todd and his gang doing a great job. Josh over there at his side. As the Rangers back on offense, down 7. Monzon and Gordon out front. There's Howerton. She's hit a 3 earlier today. They got to watch that. And a foul, I think, maybe on Nurmi. Let's wait and see if it's on Lindsay. It is. That's Lindsay's first. Both teams have committed 2 here in the first 3 minutes, so a few more whistles in the early part of the third period here. Game 1 of 8 today.
As you said, nobody in serious foul trouble.
Nurmi with a near steal. It's loose, and it is a steal as Yanni comes away with it.
Centralia with an opportunity to open up a little bit wider lead than they've had so far in the game.
It's never been in double digits, and it won't be on this possession anyway because it's a turnover Back to the Rangers. Monzon to the basket. Foul, and the basket counts.
Great job going up. Kept her focused squarely on the hoop. Drew the foul and got a great shot off. Rolled around and goes in.
Monzon 5-2 from Bremerton. Now has 8 points and a chance for 9.
Tied for the high scorer of the game. Now the leading scorer of the game.
Averaging nearly 13 a game, and she makes it 27-23 at the 6:40 mark of the third quarter.
With a stop and a score here, Olympic can make this a one-possession game, and there's the stop.
Yep, Piper Kai couldn't get it to go, and there's Danielle Monzon running it up. Looking for somebody, Gordon. Nice spin move, and she had the shot blocked out of bounds by Talapu. Boy, Talapu, one of the shortest players on the court, and got right up there against Gordon and batted that out of bounds. But another chance for Olympic.
Went straight up and had a good look at the ball.
What a great inbounds play as they lob it in. The shot was missed, but Gordon is there for the putback, and it's a 2-point game.
Olympic's been solid on the board so far, and that time they were able to convert the second chance points.
27-25. Well, this Olympic team started the season very slow, as you said, as Yenny goes up and lays it up and in. First 2 for Caitlin. 29-25. They started out very slow, Pete, as you said, but they went on a run to get that second spot out of the North region, and they're trying to keep the run going here as that opportunity came up empty for the Rangers. And Centralia now back.
Great job for this Olympic team. You start off 1-13. Stayed focused, worked hard, and here they are in the tournament.
Yenny missed that one. Monzon couldn't get it to go. It's loose, and it's back to the Blazers, and a foul going to be on Howerton. That's going to be her second and the third team. 5:37 to go in the third period.
Tried to pick up what she thought was a loose ball, reached in there and caught the arm of her opponent, and there's a foul.
So Centralia brings in Devaney Kleemeyer for the first time in the basketball game at the high post. Looking for a height advantage in there. Yenny for 3, right wing. Good, Yenny. And she looks over at her bench and says, that's how we do it, girls. 32-25. Yenny with 5 big points here in the third period.
And I think we're starting to see a couple of the players heat up, and she is definitely one of them. And now that lead is 7 again, which was 2 just a couple minutes ago.
Campana can't get it to go. Another just one chance for Centralia. There's Yenny. As the blue-clad Blazers try to increase the lead. Nurmi dribbles in, then dribbles back out. Lindsay with it, going to take her player to the basket, and she's fouled by Campana. Lindsay Nurmi, who is 0 for 4 from the free throw line, will have an opportunity to get her first one here.
A good look at the basket. We're going to have a timeout on the floor right now.
Blazers by 7, 4:46 to play in the third.
4:46 left to go in the third quarter.
Not bad, Trent.
We see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.
Lindsay Nurmi, Pete, is going to go to the line for 2 more. She has not had any success so far today, 0 for 4. She does have a 3-point goal. And as you said, Olympic had cut the lead to 2, and now Centralia has just inched back ahead. Olympic just cannot get over the hump.
And that's something they're going to want to do here sooner rather than later. They're not going to want to wait till late in the fourth quarter to pick up that ground.
Nurmi gets one to go there, 8-point lead.
Fantastic job to draw that foul. Her offense spread out, gave her that lane, and she went straight for the hoop.
34-25 as Lindsay Nurmi makes them both. She has 5. Exclusively zone defense by both teams.
Olympics going to want to make up that room, but at the same time, they're not going to want to force anything and begin to panic. Still plenty of time left.
Simonson thought about a deep three, but instead they work it around the perimeter. Shot clock at 7. Campana from the baseline, too hard, and a good block out that time by Kleemeyer into the game.
Great job by Olympic working around the perimeter that time. Got a good look from the left side. Just couldn't quite get that one to fall.
Kleemeyer from Adna, Washington, has the basketball down low, lost control, got it back, put it up, and could not get it to go. But Kleemeyer with their offensive rebound, it's loose, and back out to the Blazers, and they'll reset.
Good hustle picking up that loose ball.
Yeah, Danielle, another shot. This time a pass. That wouldn't go. It's loose. And another offensive rebound by the Blazers. And right now, Pete, they are just out hustling Olympic, and Caleb Sells calls a 30-second timeout.
That is exactly what it is. That is pure hustle right there to get those loose balls.
So 3:46. We will keep it here and talk about your thoughts. Well, I was going to say before we went away, I wanted your thoughts on the Mount Hood Big Bend game. I think it'll be a good South First East matchup, and we can talk about that as we progress throughout this. But right now, Centralia trying to get a double-digit lead for the first time, Pete.
You know, that 4 versus 1, Mount Hood being the 4, Big Bend being the 1. You got to throw those seeds out the window when it's South versus North, or excuse me, South versus East. So
Talapu with the drive and the hoop, and all of a sudden, it's our first double-digit lead of the game, 36-25 Centralia.
This is what Olympic did not want to have happen after the blowout loss they had earlier in the year.
Just a very active defense by Centralia. Talapu, another one. This time she gives off to Kleemeyer, and that ball's loose, and it's Centralia again. I tell you, Lindsay Nurmi is everywhere. She gets every loose ball. She gets a lot of rebounds. She's got quick hands.
And quick feet, able to make those cuts to get to the ball quick.
Talapu from the deep left corner. Good! She's had a monster quarter with 9 points, and all of a sudden it's a 14-point lead for Centralia.
As the Blazers, their intensity just tripled here in this quarter.
15-foot jump shot, back iron, not good by Brittany Blake. And Centralia now will walk it up with 2.5 minutes to play in the third. An opportunity for the Blazers to extend the lead even more. They've only given up 7 this quarter. As that time, Yenny went in, lost control, tried to save it, but it went out of bounds. In this period, 16 points for Centralia to 7 for Olympic.
And that's the hustle difference that we've seen. They're getting, it seems like they're getting to every loose ball and every rebound.
Yenny gets a much-deserved break. She's had a tremendous quarter for Coach Caleb Sells.
And draws a nice round of applause as she makes her way towards the bench as well.
Campana driving and then backs it out. Simonson. Sullivan. Guard-oriented offense except for Gordon, who goes into the key. Tried to force the foul, couldn't. It's loose. It's still loose, and it's saved again by Centralia. Piper Kai with a great job right near the bench of the Olympic Rangers, 1:45 to go.
When she went in the key, she had all 5 Blazer defenders around her in the key.
blocked. Campana blocks the three by Talapu, and then the foul by Talapu. That's sometimes a frustration thing, Pete. You get your shot blocked and you feel like you want to snap that ball right back and you commit a violation like Talapu did, and she knew it immediately.
She sure did. She had that look. She knew she made the mistake.
And she's going to get a break here as Jamie Connolly will come back for Centralia, and Caleb Sells pats Talapu on the head and says, hey, you know your error, and that's the best thing about it. You knew what you did. And so have a break for the rest of the quarter because we need you in the fourth quarter. She'll be back. There's a short jumper on the way by the Rangers. That's not good. That was Monzon. And again, only one chance for this Olympic team. Centralia doing a great job on the defensive boards.
Sure is. You know, and when Sullivan comes back, when Talapu comes back, going to want to be careful with that fourth foul. So she's going to sit probably a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they can maintain this lead without her, I'm sure Coach Sells will just keep her on the bench until they need her. If they do, that's off of Kleemeyer's hands out of bounds. A hard pass from Cash, and so it goes back to Olympic.
And they're going to want to take advantage of some of these turnovers, try and cut into this lead.
Minute 10 to go. Centralia has opened up a 14-point lead over the Olympic Rangers. Campana driving, and now a three on the way. Not good that time by Monzon, and once again, Centralia with a rebound.
Biggest lead of the game, looking to extend that. Final minute here of the third quarter.
They work it around the zone. Cash looking into Kleemeyer. She turns around, banks it up, no good. Got her own rebound, missed it. They hit the deck. And there's a Gordon. Looked like she grabbed her right ankle there. She's slow to get up, is Natalie Gordon. We'll keep an eye on her.
Yeah, you know, she twisted kind of at an uncomfortable angle as they hit the floor on that held ball.
And they might get Gordon out of there. Natalie, a sophomore from Port Orchard, Washington, went to South Kitsap High School, 5'11", and she seems to be moving okay, but I think Coach Hawkins just wants to check with her and give her a little bit of extra time to have a rest and make sure that she's okay. 42 seconds to go in the period.
One of the nice things about the tournament is should a player twist an ankle or have an injury, the medical staff right there in the corner of the gym, they do a fantastic job making sure the players are okay.
They tape everybody up before the game. In fact, one of the Olympic Rangers, Sullivan, is getting taped right now. The trainer is here from Everett. I went down there and saw her, and she has the Everett jacket on, and so nice of them to provide training staff for everybody here. Lob to Kleemeyer underneath, and she got it to go. Great pass by Cash.
16-point lead. Probably the last shot of the quarter here for Olympic.
Campana. Monzon. Danielle driving, splits the defenders, puts it up off the glass, and got fouled with 1.1 second to go. Great job by Monzon. She's been to the line 3 times today, Pete, all in this quarter. She's 3 for 3, and it would give the Rangers a little bit of a boost if they could score here at the end of the period.
Absolutely. Have something positive to talk about.
Life is about moments.
When I first graduated high school, all I wanted to do was go to a four-year because like if you went to a community college, it was, like I said, not very competitive. But now being at a community college for 2 years, that makes you grow up as a player way more than you would think just going straight to a four-year. You have a lot of like the community members that come out to your games that you know of, and so here I think is where kids really develop their skills and then they can go on to a four-year. My name is Devaney. I play basketball at Centralia College and I go boldly.
Mike Tatko along with Pete Richmeyer here from Everett Community College as we bring you game one of the NWAC Women's Basketball Tournament. The fourth quarter underway now. Centralia leads Olympic 41-27. Glad you're with us wherever you may be watching this morning as we are nearing the end of our first game. 1 quarter to go, and Pete, Olympic will need to get on the ball here and make up some of this deficit.
And that's not going to help, putting up the three and having it swatted into the third row.
Coach Hawkins will retrieve the basketball behind his bench and hand it to the official. And great job as coming in for, or sitting down for the Blazers is Connolly. Yenny back in. Kai is in the game along with Nurmi, Cash, and Kleemeyer. That's the 5 on the court for the Trailblazers, leading by 14. Inside it goes to Blake. Cross-court pass from Simonson to Howerton. Shot clock at 1, and she barely gets a shot off. There's Monzon and a shot clock violation. She tried to draw contact, Pete, but I didn't think there was anything there, and it's a turnover back to the Blazers.
I was surprised she got the shot off because when she had the ball with 3 left to shoot and she started to make a move, that was some good hustle to even get that shot off to try and draw the contact.
So back on offense are the Blazers. Megan Cash driving to the basket. Got it in the foul. Megan Cash.
And Centralia is pumped up. Nice reaction from her teammates as she heads to the line.
Well, 19 turnovers for Olympic. And the foul is called on Simonson, her second. Megan Cash has 4 points, and she'll have a chance to make this a 17-point game in favor of the Blazers, and that one is not good, and the rebound comes down to Blake.
You know, real tough to stay in a basketball game when you turn it over 19 times through just over 3 quarters. And the Rangers find themselves down by 16 with 9 to go.
18 points in that third quarter for Centralia to outscore the Rangers 18-9 and take the big lead as they try to advance to a 1 p.m. battle tomorrow against the winner of Big Bend and Mount Hood. Piper Kai driving, leaves it off, and Cash got it. Megan Cash with 7 off the bench, 46-27.
Cash, money, nothing but net. Great shot from the top of the arc.
Lammy back into the game, and the shot is no good, but the putback is up and good by Blake. First 2 since the first period for Brittany.
Nice job to hang in the play underneath the net, pick up that rebound, and put it back up quick before any defenders could center in on her.
46-29. Yenny going to go all the way to the basket, bank it up, no good. Rebound come down to Monzon. Danielle running it up the right side, now to the middle of the court. And she kicks it to her teammate, Alciaga, but the foul is going to be on Centralia's Cash on the drive by Monzon before the dish and the score, Pete. So they're not going to count that basket. It'll be an on-the-floor foul on Cash, and Olympic will have the basketball out of bounds.
Yeah, she drew the block just before, actually as she was dishing the ball, so they called that play, blew it dead, and no points.
So Cash with the foul, and Olympic with the basketball down 17, 8 minutes to go. The Centralia been in that zone the entire time. Campana now cross-court pass. Monzon going to try to go through the key. Puts it up. Off-balance shot off the iron, no good, and the rebound comes down to Elwood.
Once again, tough shot from an angle. Looked like she was trying to draw a foul there as well.
Great pass. Nurmi to Cash. She lays it in. Megan with 9 points all in this quarter, and it's a 19-point lead for Centralia.
She is absolutely on fire.
Lammy with the basketball, another steal. It's Yemi against Monzon, one-on-one. Yenny steps through, makes the basket and the foul. Caitlin Yenny with 7 points, and Monzon with the foul, and it's a 21-point edge for the Trailblazers.
All smiles on the court right now for the Trailblazers. 21-point lead.
Remember when it was 23-18 at half, and it's been all Centralia, as Yenny missed the free throw, and the rebound comes down to Lammy. What an outburst by the Blazers here in the second half. Campana on Cash, going to drive, going to kick into the corner. That's Gordon. And now Blake. Centralia would just like them to use as much time as possible every possession.
At this, and they are too. They're almost a shot clock violation this time. Now they work it down to 2.
And that Kai intercepts the pass, step through, Euro move, no good, and the rebound comes down. And Kai, I think, committed the foul after the miss. It is going to be on Piper. It's her second. And it is the second team foul on the Blazers, who apply some pressure here, up 21.
So, now down by 21 inside of 7 minutes with the way Centralia is playing basketball. Olympic is looking at the clock. Time is not on their side.
Driving to the basket is Monson, and she got fouled. She'll have a couple of free throws. Well, you're right, Pete. They're not going to be able to take 25 seconds every time down and work it around that Centralia zone and try to get a good shot. They're going to have a little bit more of a sense of urgency, which I thought Danielle did on that possession.
Absolutely.
Cash is fouled, or she committed the foul. It's her third, and now Danielle Monzon will shoot a pair. She's perfect from the line today, 5 for 5, and now 6 for 6 for Monzon. She has 12 points. Howerton is back into the game. She's a three-point threat, and that's probably why they have her in the game. She already has 1 three-point basket today. Danielle Monzon to try to get this down to 19, and she missed that one. But the rebound by Gordon underneath. Natalie has it. She'll muscle it up, and she got fouled. And so Natalie Gordon, who will go to the line. She's 2 for 4 today. As we check the foul, it's on Yenny. It's her first and the 4th team foul. 6.5 to play. It's 50-30.
And it looked like she was wondering how that call went that way. 2 Centralia defenders on either side of the shooter. So really either could have been called for the foul.
Gordon's free throw was a little bit too hard. Natalie today has 6 points. 2 for 5 from the free throw line, and she's trying to get back to the 500 mark as far as free throws go. She eyes it, she shoots it, and she missed that one as well. And Centralia with the rebound. It's Elwood. Hitting the deck is Piper Kai. She looks a little shaken up, but she'll come back up across the half-court line as the Blazers and Lindsay Nurmi will bring it across with a 20-point lead as we approach the 6-minute mark. Yenny driving and kicking to Kai. And there's Cash. Oh, and she threw it. Cash broke back to midcourt, and Piper threw it toward the bench. And so it's a turnover, one of the few turnovers, really, Centralia has had here in the second half. They've really taken care of the ball. It's a 30-second timeout called by Coach Dave Hawkins of the Rangers, and now they turn it into a media timeout. 20-point Centralia lead. We're back after these messages.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
And welcome back to Everett Community College. Just over 6 minutes left to go. 20-point lead for Centralia.
Well, again, this Olympic team with 18 points in the first half and only 12 here through basically a quarter and a half. And that's not the performance you want here as we close out game one. It's going to be the end of the season for one of these teams, and both teams will look back and have some great successes this year. Olympic getting here for the first time since 2006 as Gordon is fouled once again, and she'll go to the line again.
And a great pass by Campana to get that ball, put it right between two Centralia defenders, enabling her to draw that foul.
And Talapu has committed her 5th foul. You mentioned it, Pete, about her having to watch the fouls. Well, she did come back in and she committed a couple, so Talapu is disqualified with 13 points in the game. So a great game by Alani Talapu as Gordon gets the free throw. And it's 50-31. I'll tell you, this is something you don't want to see if you're Centralia. You don't want to see Olympic making points when the clock is stopped.
Absolutely right.
Gordon missed that one, but the rebound by Campana, so a chance for a multiple-point possession here for the Rangers. Campana into the corner.
At some point, they're going to want Howerton to heat up with those threes.
Yeah, Campana fires. No good, and the rebound, Cash tipped it to her teammate, Lindsay Nurmi, who will walk it up. Centralia in no hurry, 5.5 to play, up 19. Cash driving, she'll kick. And now Yenny. It's kind of a pass and weave type offense here. Nurmi into the key and shot clock down, and Yenny jumps it up. Good! A three-pointer for Yenny. What a half she's had. She has 10 all in the second half, and it's 53-31.
You know, now you can look at the difference between the way the two teams are playing. If you look at Centralia on defense, their hands are up, whereas when they come down the court this side, Olympic pretty much with their hands at their sides on defense, and that's something that, as you can see right there, everyone with their hands down.
Elwood blocked that shot, and it's a turnover as it went off. Elwood trying to get some tape back in place on her shoe. It looked like a Velcro area down there that came loose, but it appears she's got it back in order. Great block shot by Isabella Elwood last time. And now another possession for Olympic. 4:44 remaining. 10 o'clock is our next game, Big Bend and Mount Hood. Monzon, too hard on that one, and the rebound to Centralia. Nurmi has really owned the boards. She's played great defense, batted a lot of passes, and she does have 5 points today for Coach Caleb Sells.
So again, Olympic on defense. Actually look a little bit tired. You know, you'd like to think some of that's the 8 o'clock start, but both these teams are starting at 8.
Well, they only have 9 on their bench. That's another thing, is a traveling violation on Centralia.
Definitely a look of some exhaustion on some of the players.
All 9 have seen action in this game for the Rangers, but Howerton will sit down, and back in is Simonson. Well, Simonson has a 3, Howerton has a 3, but somebody's going to have to step up, as you said, Pete, and start making some baskets. As there is Simonson, 3, deep right corner, no good off the iron, and Elwood yanks it down to Nurmi, and she'll walk it up, guarded there by Campana.
Trailblazers are just cleaning up everything on the offensive and defensive board, and that's been a huge reason for their success here in the second half.
Deep 3, good.
That's the other reason.
Yeah, that's a 3 by
25-point lead.
Yeah, that was Quinlan Christian who got that 3-pointer, and she has 4 in the game. 56-31 with 3.5 left. Well, they're not going to get them by 42 or 44 like they did in December, but they are definitely imposing their will here and showing that Centralia, with a record of 15-14, if they win this one, they're going to be in the final 8.
And if you go by the seeding, it is a 3. Looks like they're going to come out on top of a 2. Could be called an upset, but with the way these two teams are in the divisions they play.
Yeah, I think you get to this point, and 4s can beat 1s, and 3s can beat 2s, and we've seen it on the men's side. You were here both Thursday and Friday, Pete. You saw some 4s over some 1s in the men's, and again, it's who comes to play and who who really shows up. In fact, on the men's side, you have 3 of the 4 final 4 teams are from the East region. So
yes,
they have showed some strength here, as 1, 2, and 3 from the East will join Lane from the South in the Final 4 next Saturday.
You know, and if you're watching, wherever you're watching from, make your plans. Be sure you come out to Everett next Saturday and Sunday. The All-Star games and the championship Final Fours for men's and women.
Yeah, the thing about the All-Star game I like is if you're not in the tournament, if you've been eliminated or if you didn't make the tournament, you can have your kids come here and play in the All-Star game, and that's really a showcase of the best basketball players in the NWAC, the best sophomores. As Simonson jumps it up and in for 3. 2 3-pointers for Haley Simonson, and it's 56-36. So again, semifinal action next Saturday, and then All-Star game Sunday, and then championship Sunday as well. Driving up and putting it in, or was Wilkerson not in as she was fouled. She'll have a couple of free throws here. 2:40 to go.
You're talking about the offense that the Showcase have. The men's score last year was 140 to 130 something. Just
I sat over there. I was writing the little article for the NWAC Sports webpage, and I was trying to keep a play-by-play and everything, and after a while I just gave up. I'm like, I think I'll just post the final score.
Good luck with that, yes.
Wilkerson at the line, and coming back will be Cash after this made shot. If it goes in, it does not, and so no opportunity for the sub. Coach Sell's going to try to get a couple new players in. We're going to see Becca Snaza for the first time at the next whistle. So Becca will get some playing time here. 2:25 to go.
That's nice for the freshmen to get a little tournament time.
Not good on the shot. And back to Centralia with 2:10 to go. Nurmi now. And there's Christian again. Another 3. That's no good. And Yeni with the save. And that was Nurmi, not Christian. Connolly.
Less than 2 minutes.
Olympic trapping, lob, pass, and intercepted.
Good job on the defense that time, taking away that passing lane.
Shot up and no good by a new Olympic player. That's Markeisha Green. They call her Marmar. She's into the basketball game for Olympic. That one wouldn't go. And a timeout by Coach Sells just to get some subs in, so we'll keep it here as they're going to get Cash in, and they're also going to get Becca Snaza in. She's a 5'7" freshman from Napavine. And I got to tell you, Pete, I was talking to Coach Caleb Sells before the game, and he said, don't mess up that name Snaza because her dad's the sheriff. And if you mess it up, we're all going to be in trouble. And so I told him I'd try to make sure and get that one right for Becca, who's into the basketball game, who drives into the key, going to put it up with the left hand off the glass and good.
Nice shot. Right around the defense, soft touch off the glass. Good job converting.
22-point lead, final minute 15. Jumping it up is Simonson, no good, and the rebound taken down by Wilkerson. Everybody will play for both teams in this basketball game. Nice to see that as the final minute of game 1 of the women's tournament. Snaza going to drive again, going to try to do the same thing. Instead, it's a blocking foul. Not, will it be 2 shots or was it on the floor? Let's wait and see.
It's going to be on the floor.
Going to be on Blake. It is on the floor, and coming in for the Rangers will be Campana, also Monzon, and Howerton. As you look at this Olympic team, Monzon's a sophomore, Campana, Howerton, and Gordon, and Blake. So 5 sophomores will be done for Coach Dave Hawkins, but they've had the opportunity to come to the NWAC tournament their sophomore year, and it's something they'll never forget, as the step and the 3 by Howerton, no good. And Centralia will live to play another day. They'll be back here at 1 o'clock tomorrow against either Big Bend or Mount Hood. That game comes up at 10 o'clock. Final 35 seconds, 58-36. Driving, and the shot no good that time by Christian, and now Olympic will run it up.
Great strength to get that shot off because she had a defender hanging on her arm as she took that one to the hole.
Howerton, deep right corner. Got it. Howerton, a 3. She has 6. A couple of 3-pointers for Howerton. 58-39, and the shot clock is off, and they'll be able to dribble it out, Pete. And it'll be Centralia moving to 15-14. Olympic will end its year 11-18. As the clock will run out, they shake hands, and Centralia wins it today by a score of 58-39. Well, they finally pulled away after a tight first half.
Yeah, you have to give it to Olympic because you start off the season 1-13. Here they are in the Sweet 16. They made it to the tournament. Overall, I would say they worked their tails off to get to this point, so nothing to hang their heads about. Congratulations to the Rangers on a Sweet 16 finish, and Centralia, they're going to have their hands full come tomorrow.
Well, our next game is 10 o'clock. It'll be Big Bend in Mount Hood. We want to thank our friends at STSPN, and thank you, Pete Richmeyer. Great to be with you, and we will be back with the next basketball game. The final score, Centralia 58, Olympic 39. So long, everybody.
When I first graduated high school, all I wanted to do was go to a 4-year because if you went to a community college, it was, like I said, not very competitive. But now being at a community college for 2 years, that makes you grow up as a player way more than you would think just going straight to a 4-year. You have a lot of the community members that come out to your games that you know of, and so here I think is where kids really develop their skills and then they can go on to a 4-year. My name is Devaney. I play basketball at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
We see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.